Good Monday, Grand Rising, wherever you are. As you can see, we get a little bit of the backstage today as we set up our show, and we're so excited for another Monday. Dream, do, done. This is what we do. Your accountability podcast every Monday, one ish. That's our thing. We're gonna definitely have that trademark, but we're grateful to be with you this week. Last week we had a little technical challenge, but we're grateful that we are here. And the pulpit chick has to take care of pulpit chicking. So she is with us in spirit, and our love and prayers are with her because we represent just the three of the ways you can approach life. Dreams you've done, we all represent a piece of it, and we came together. Can you believe it, Tamara? We're almost at our fourth.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
Lord, that needs
Wait, when you talk about consistency, we have been here for 3 years going on 4.
exactly. So we're not just talking about it. We are living it in real time. We all have dreams. We all have things that we want to do and that we desire to, utilize in the world. And it's not an overnight process, right? You have to just continue on the journey and dreaming, changing it into doing so that you can celebrate getting it done. And we're here to hold you accountable to that success.
Absolutely. And it's so funny, even when you talk about 3 years, you can spend 3 years just thinking about doing something. What if that fateful day, what if we said, let's just think about it some more. Let's see what we can do. You can spend 3 years thinking about something. For those of you that have been following this show, there might be some things you thought about early on. And the question is, have you done them yet? There's still time, but the question is, have you done it yet?
Absolutely. And we're here to hold your hand through the process. No judgment. That's why we created the journal. That's why we have the master classes. So just visit dreamdodone.com. At least the journal itself will get you on track to putting your dreams down, holding them, documenting them so that you can start tracking your progress. I mean, we really made it easy for you just to thumb through and see like, okay, I checked this off. This project is open. I didn't connect with that person. Where's my priority? So we take it and really just give you a chance to capture it all. So we've been talking about dreamdodone.com to get your journal. You can go to Amazon. So I'm not going to belabor that point because today we are going to talk about something very specific, right? And when we talk about the investing in getting a journal, it's all about investing in yourself, in your dreams, in the goals that you desire, because you can't just go from dreaming without actualizing those dreams. At least we hope you don't. So that's just what I wanted to say. And of course, October is ending soon, the best month of the year. And then we'll be on to celebrating another one of the trio's birthdays. So we're looking forward to doing that as well. But how are you doing, Tamara Hartley?
You know what? I am doing well. Although the other day I did go down one of the main streets coming into where I live, the little community that I live, and someone had all these Christmas lights up. I said, please, why do you do this to me every year? Santa Claus lights. I'm like, really? It's not even Halloween yet. You know what I mean? And you are already got Christmas decorations up. But that just gives me a little push. Like, you know what? This year is starting to wrap up. So
Yeah,
that
but
was
this
a realization. But no, I've been doing well, still traveling with my son, going around to different colleges, trying to see what he's going to do next. So just been, my weeks have been flying by because of that, because I've been in the car. You all know I hate to drive. But the things you would do for love.
things you will do. I tell you, them they're cheering. But no, we're excited to see you mommy managering. So that is something that we could also track here on the show, that you take into your own hands and get it done. The how-to
Yeah.
coach is like, okay, we had a little situation with an injury, but that doesn't stop your opportunity. And look how much buzz, look at all of the looks in the meetings. So that's just a testament. Once again, your son has a dream, but you are taking him through the dream do done process. So he's had the dream,
Absolutely.
and now he is doing, even with recovery and getting through all of the just unexpected
Yes.
situation, right? Because
Yes.
this is not something he planned for. He had a whole different idea of
Yeah.
what this senior year would look like. But you're showing him you still have that dream. It hasn't gone anywhere, but what are we doing towards that dream? And then
Yeah.
each time he gets another look, there's another retweet, there's another meeting. He's like, whoo, we're getting this done. He's like looking at you like, yo, my mom is the truth.
But you know what? This is really not only a message for me, just that inspiration piece, but a lot of times, even for us as entrepreneurs, business does not always happen the way that we see it. Look at this pandemic that threw a lot of people off. But what I told my son just over this weekend, I said, son, you are getting attention and people looking at you off your track record. You haven't stepped on the field this year because you haven't been able to, but you still are getting invited to these colleges and invited to, consider their school. You know what I mean? But a lot of times it's like things don't happen the way they're supposed to happen, but you have to look at your track record. Emphasize your track record, show up, use your track record to get you that next big opportunity. And so, as entrepreneurs, I think that is a wonderful lesson. And he is showing me every day. It's hard because that psychology piece is always there, but you don't always have to have everything in place to get the opportunities. If you're supposed to be there and you persevere and that's your dream, go get it. Go get
Go
it.
get it. That's one of my songs on my playlist. Go get your
Go
blessing.
get it.
That's right. Go get it. So we are cheering for him. And,
Thank
we
you.
love to get those updates on the show because we're all mothers.
Yes.
We're all wives. We're all
Yeah.
business owners. And that's a part of what makes our conversations unique to the experiences that we have. And then we can share it with you. If we can figure it out with a trillion things on our plates, then you can too. There's no
Absolutely.
difference. It's implementation. So you can get the information, but if you don't implement it, then what good will it serve you? So with that being said, we're going to jump into just investing in yourself, right? We always have our behind the scenes green room conversations about how we can be a benefit when you log into the show and that you learn information. We reference not only our content, but content of those that we work with, as well as giving you resources that you can utilize in this navigation of life. And this was something interesting we found on a Pinterest post, 36 ways to invest in yourself. Of course, we're not going to go through all 36 today, but we want to reiterate the importance of investing in yourself. And Tim, I know you had some real thoughts around the fact that people skip over this process. Like they'll do investing in a whole lot of things, some good shoes. I heard one of the bishops preach. They said some of y'all spent $300 on some hair, but have you invested in sewing into the ministry? I said, oh, no, he didn't. But it's true. Like we will invest in so many different things, but are we investing in ourselves?
Yes, absolutely. And I always tell my children, everybody makes a choice about where they spend their time. I'm sorry, I hit the mute button about where they spend their time, their attention, and their money. And so, with that being said, you have to be very intentional when it comes to you and investing in yourself. Sometimes we look at that price tag on that training or on that coach, and we're like, oh, that's too much. But then we spin around and we go get those bundles. I get down with when you look good, you feel good, you do good. I get down with that too. But at the end of the day, I learned that I do have to invest in myself, particularly if you're in a business where you're asking other people to invest in you. You have to keep that circulation and that feel good. Okay, I'm into this. Good. You cannot just want people to give into you, but you don't want to give into others, or you don't want to give into yourself. So investing in yourself is super important. I always try to share with my clients that, how we have that travel nest egg, or we have some kind of thing we're saving for. I encourage them to save for their personal development. You don't know when the opportunity is going to come. You don't know when Faithpreneur Weekend is going to pop up. And sometimes when those things pop up and you see the price tag, you may not always have it at that moment. But if you're saving for it, you're ready for it. And it makes your decision easier. It helps you to be able to do the things you really need to do to get where you're trying to be. And so a lot of times if we just save it and let it accumulate, hey, that's just for my personal development. That's just for me. And when you have that, like I said, it just makes it an easier thing for you to do and invest in yourself and get what you need. You can't just skip over something because it has a price tag on it. You have to learn to invest in yourself and invest in the dream that you say you really want.
And I think that's so important. And what really resonated with me as you were talking about that, it's planning, right? Dream Do Done is an accountability podcast. We're here talking about how do you set yourself up for success? So that's setting yourself up for success. If you have a separate account, and my wealth strategist and financial coach is something that she talks about all the time, like finding the different buckets that you put religiously your money in. So you have your tithing, you have your, pay yourself, and then you have your personal development fund. Right. In addition to the regular bills, have a vacation fund. There's some, I don't know if banks still do this with Christmas Club, where they would have people save a certain amount. So when the holidays came, they didn't have to figure out, okay, how am I going to celebrate and do different things, because they had this money set aside in a Christmas Club. Some people call it the susus, right? That you get it, or the partners, or you exchange hands, because it's all setting aside. So what are we setting aside for investment in ourselves? I love that. And I love the suggestion of making that personal development, calling it that personal development. So you can invest in these things. I mean, looking at this list, eat healthier, that's a choice. That doesn't necessarily cost, except when you go to buy healthier food and then make those decisions. Travel more, invest your money. You don't get to invest your money until you've really gotten into a better financial position and like clear debt, so that you can invest in certain ways. Um, Listening to podcasts, saving your money, watching shows. Some of these things don't cost anything, but
Yeah.
it's helping you to improve. And then when you do have an opportunity to attend a conference like Faithpreneur Weekend, selfish plug, or FraserNet or PNC, you're able then to make those choices because you've set aside and you have that there. So I think that's crucial. But some of
Yeah.
these others just really stick out, right? Just staying in touch with family, that can feed your soul. People are going through so much right now. We've lost so many loved ones in the last, 18 going on 20 something months. And just a phone call, that's an investment in your spiritual self. That's an investment in family and time that you can't get back. Setting goals. Hello, we have the Dream Do Done journal. Like, these are not hard things to do, but there are ways in which you help yourself to be better and show up better in the world.
Yeah, and what I really like about this list is that it is a lot of different things. When we talk about investing yourself, it's not always just with money. It is with your time. That's one of the most important things. We don't have time. We're so busy. Everyone is busy and hustling, bustling, and you're overscheduled, overbooked. You don't have time to do a lot of these things. So therefore you forego them. But you have to invest in yourself with your time, your attention, and your dollars. I mean, it is just a given.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look, he even whoever wrote this had on here, learn more skills. So sometimes you can get a free course on Google University. You can look and find some of the other apps and platforms that'll have information, but then there are times when you're going to have to invest, and you're going to have
Absolutely.
to pay for a course at a certain level. So, having that set aside helps you to be able to do that. Learning a
Yeah.
new language, finding a mentor. I mean, this is really good conversation and good things for you to think about on a Monday.
Absolutely. And when you talk about coaching, there's a difference between having a coach and having a mentor. And a lot of times you don't pay your mentor, but there's time investment there. When you pay a coach, there's that money investment there. We've been talking on this show about, our mastermind groups and some of the things we're putting together. And the thing is not really about, at the end of the day, how much money we can bring in, it's how much impact we can make. So those masterminds are very targeted. So it's not something that everybody can get in just because they have a payment. They have to be able to get in and do some other things and some prerequisites to even get into the group. So that's investment even before you have to make an investment, making sure you're ready for something like that. So I really want everyone to kind of really think about that. It's not just about being out here blowing your money, throwing money here and there, because sometimes we can invest in too many different avenues that don't bring us fruit at all. And then we just kind of shy away from investing in anything else. But just because you have money does not mean that you're investing in the right opportunity. So knowing exactly where you need to invest and improve yourself is super key when you're talking about moving your dreams forward.
Absolutely. And, this is something that needs to be on replay, right? For everyone, that reminder, because it's so important to make that a conscious choice in a decision. Because here's what I also know, Tamara. Um, Personal development is not something that everybody is concerned with. It's
Yeah.
a choice. And if you're invested in personal development, if you're invested in becoming a better version of who you are, if you're invested in growing, then you move differently. And it's no judgment on the people who are not, they're just
Mhm.
not there yet.
Yeah.
And you can be that example of what to do and walk the walk, right? Show them better than you can tell them by
Yeah.
the things that you do, the way you spend your time, the way you spend your investments, so that you can become better, that you can do more, especially for those who are serving people in different capacities of whether they are service based or product based, that you're always looking for ways um, for us to create and do what it is that we've been put on this planet to do. And investing in yourself, you are the hottest commodity. So the better
Absolutely.
you make yourself, the better you can eat right, work out, do whatever that you need to do. Let go of hurt feelings, forgive people. Like, these are all things on this particular list. And this is a list that somebody created from experience, right? So if we can just take from it what works for you, and maybe you have some additional items that are on the list of how to take care of you. But
Yeah.
the real goal is spending that time and making it a deliberate effort as we're closing out October, moving into November and December. Let's not think like the year is over. It's not over. We're
Yeah.
just in the last quarter. So there are places we can adjust, and we can still make an investment in ourselves as we close out this 2021.
Absolutely. And and I just have to be transparent because I am the how-to coach. So I figure out a way to do just about any and everything. They laugh at me all the time because I do. But as a new entrepreneur, it wasn't my goal to not invest in myself. It was just my goal to maximize the funds that I had. So I forewent a lot of different investments that could have saved me time and helped me along the way because I was just brand new. I was, I had a small nest egg I was working with, and I was just trying to maximize those funds. And so there were things that I did not do or invest in myself that could have saved me a lot of time and energy as well. But as I got more into, being an entrepreneur and what it takes, I started saying, hey, I need to invest in here. So I did start putting away those pockets of money so I could do those things. A lot of times you can do a lot of things on your own. You really can, but do you really do them? And that's what it comes down to. So sometimes it's easier to be able to pay for the resources you need to make that learning curve a little bit shorter. And like I said, I'm the how-to coach, so I can figure out the how, and then I will do the how. That's a given. But when I was able to invest in myself and get some of those resources, some of those tools, those automation tools, those are the things that help save me some time and energy so I can focus on and do something else. And sometimes we don't look at it like that as a trade-off. It looks like, okay, we're spending this money, but we're spending this money so that we can make this money over here and concentrate on something else. So just look at investing in yourself in a different way. It's not always about just paying out, but it's like paying out for something that's going to help get some resources into your life as well. So when I started looking at it like that, I was able to pick and choose better what I should invest in, what kind of tools I should secure. There's things I pay for monthly that make my life easier and help me to come up with these programs and things that I'm coming up with. So sometimes you have to look at it like that as well.
Absolutely. And look, girl, while you were talking, I was like, preach, honey, because there were a lot of things that I invested in too soon
Oh yeah.
because we weren't at the stage in the business growth that really required it. And I'm
That's a good one.
very sensitive to the fact that people will prey on your ignorance, PREY. So that's why you got to pray for discernment on what you do. Okay, that's just a sidebar. We
That's a whole show. Let me write that down. Because that's true too. The very first time I broke out on my own, I rented this office space. Girl, not a client one.
but you look cute though. But you
But I
look
had a
cute.
coordinated office space. So when you talk about investing in things too soon or investing in things at the wrong time, that is so key. We could have that conversation,
Yes.
just because we've been there and done that.
Done that. We can save you the headache. So yeah, we're gonna put that on for one of our upcoming shows for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
But we thank you all for just tuning in, for being here, whether live or catching the replay. We appreciate you, and just continue to keep moving forward. Keep dreaming. Don't lose sight of your dreams, but start doing so you can get it done. And your girls are here: Serena Brown Travis, the pulpit chick; Tamara Hartley, the how-to coach; and myself, Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant, the chief faithpreneur, to cheer you on down to the finish line. So you enjoy the rest of your October, the best month of the year, as we move into one of the other greatest months of the year of November. And we will be back again with you with another episode soon. Bye for now, everyone.
Mm.